What if I gave you a list of things that you can stop doing immediately if your goal is to achieve financial freedom in your life? Would that help you? Well, then hang on till the end of this episode because that's exactly what I am going to talk about in this particular episode. So let's get into it. Welcome to episode 44 of the Rohit Radio Show. This is your host Rohit, and I help people achieve the freedom of time, the freedom of money, and the freedom of location so that they can spend more time with their family, travel more, and live a more real and a fulfilling life. In this episode, I want to discuss with you the 15 things that you must stop doing immediately right now if you want to be financially free. What can you do starting today to begin making financial progress immediately? The one thing that is stopping you from achieving financial freedom, the two things that are destroying your wealth, the biggest investment mistake that you might be making right now, the four things that you must stop investing in, and lastly, the four types of people you must stop listening to. But before we get into this episode, I want to invite you to come and attend my free Financial Freedom Masterclass, in which I teach people how to escape the 9 to 5 rat race in less than 5 years. This masterclass is 100% online. It is free. When you sign up, you get your login details and you have lifetime access to it. So go ahead and claim your lifetime access to this masterclass. I will put the link in the description box below. This masterclass will get you started on your goal towards your financial independence. Now, just to give you some context here, whenever I mention financial freedom, I am talking about your total monthly passive income becoming either equal to or more than your total monthly expense, because that is the correct definition of financial freedom. Financial freedom or financial independence does not mean being rich. It simply means that you can live your life of your investments comfortably. It simply means that your investments are taking care of you every single month without requiring you to do any kind of work. That's why I say financial freedom is when your total monthly passive income either equals or exceeds your total monthly expense. And anything that does not take us to that specific result, we must stop doing those things. All right, coming back to our topic. Here are 15 things that you must immediately stop doing right now if you want to be financially free. Just avoid these things and you will do well financially in the long run. Number one, stop investing in mutual funds. See, mutual funds require you to take money out of your pocket and put it in a fund. Now tell me one thing, if money keeps going out of your pocket, how can you be financially free? Financial freedom requires that money keeps coming into your pocket, not going out of your pocket. You want money coming into your pocket every single month, not going out of your pocket every single month. So that is why I say, if your goal is to achieve financial freedom, stop investing in mutual funds. Now, mutual fund is a product which is suitable for those who do not understand anything about the world of money and business. A mutual fund is a curated financial product. It is suitable only for beginners. However, if your goal is to achieve financial freedom and if you are willing to take the initiative and start a side hustle or maybe a startup, then mutual funds are not the right product for you, because mutual funds require you to give your money to someone else to manage. So in this situation, you are a passive investor. And as a passive investor, unfortunately, you can never achieve financial freedom in your life because you hardly earn any cash flow from mutual funds. Financial freedom is about cash flow, not capital gains. Mutual funds are about capital gains. You can't be passive when it comes to your money matters. You have to become active with your money. You have to start taking active interest in where your money is actually getting invested and how much cash flow or return on investment are you expecting from that particular investment. When you have control over these parameters, that is the time when your chances of achieving financial freedom go up significantly. Whereas, if you are simply giving your money to someone else to manage, hoping that one day you will become financially free, well, I am sorry to say that is never going to happen. Nobody can manage your money better than you can because it is your hard earned money. Number two, stop working for money. My mentor Robert Kiyosaki wrote his famous book Rich Dad Poor Dad back in the 90s. In that book, the first chapter is titled The Rich Don't Work for Money. Now, if the rich don't work for money, why would you work for money? The reason why Robert says don't work for money is that money has become paper currency. Money does not have value anymore. In fact, money loses value if not invested. So, paper currency is something which is designed to lose value. So, if you are working to earn something which is designed to lose value in the future, then you are actually wasting your time. So, if you are working at a 9 to 5 job, or if you are working as a freelancer, then you are trading your time for money. In other words, you are trading your time for paper currency, and paper currency is something which is created by the central banks of the world. And the more money they print, the lesser will be the value of this paper currency. And the lesser is the value of this paper currency, the lesser you are earning in terms of real wealth. So, whatever output that you are producing by working or trading your time, in exchange for that output, what you are getting paid is not real money. It is fiat money or paper currency, which is not a fair deal in my view. This is the reason why Robert Kiyosaki says that you must stop working for money. Instead, you must start working to create assets. You must start working to build businesses. That is exactly what the rich people have been doing for decades now. Go and study the richest people in the world. When I took this advice from Robert, it changed my life. I quit my 9 to 5 job. I started my own businesses. I have failed in my first 12 businesses. That's right, 12 businesses. But my 13th and my 14th business succeeded and ultimately helped me achieve my goal of financial freedom. Ever since I started learning from Robert Kiyosaki, I have stopped working for money. These days, the only thing that I spend my time on is building my business, because a business is an asset. I don't work for money. I work to create assets. I work to build a business, a company. This is the fastest way to hit your goal of financial freedom. If you keep trading your time for paper currency notes, you are on the wrong track and you need to start making changes in your life as soon as possible. If all you can take from this video is the idea of not working for money and implement that in your real life, I think my job is done here. Nobody on this planet will be more proud of you than me if you decide from today that you are not going to work for money anymore. Number 3, stop investing for capital gains. Now, there is a difference between investing for capital gains and investing for cash flow. The richest people in the world invest for cash flow. They do not invest for capital gains. For example, let's say you buy a stock worth $100 and after some time you sell the stock for $200. Now you have made a $100 capital gain. But to earn that capital gain, the problem is you have to sell that stock. So when you earn capital gains, you lose control over that asset. Not only do you lose control over the asset, but also you are now liable to pay capital gains tax on that $100 you made by selling that stock. You don't get that entire $100 in your pocket. You have to first pay tax to the government, and whatever is the remaining amount after tax is the actual amount of money that comes to your pocket. Whereas on the other hand, if you are investing for cash flow, it is like buy and hold. You buy and you take control over the asset, and then that asset starts producing monthly cash flow for you. And if you manage that asset properly, it will not only produce cash flow for you now, but also in the future, it will not only help you, it will also help your future generations and the generations after that. Because now you and your family control this asset. So it is like creating intergenerational wealth. This is the reason why I say stop investing for capital gains and start investing for cash flow. This is something which will help you in the long run. Remember, capital gains investors thrive on activity, whereas cash flow investors thrive on inactivity. Capital gains investors are not making passive income. Cash flow investors are making passive income. Capital gains investors usually lack patience. Cash flow investors display extreme amounts of patience with their investments, which is why they get rewarded in the long run. Number 4, stop using social media. The amount of time that we spend on social media, if we use the same amount of time to invest in our own financial education, don't you think that our chances of achieving financial freedom would go up significantly? Let me repeat that question. The amount of time that we spend on social media, if we use the same amount of time to invest in our own financial education, don't you think that our chances of achieving financial freedom would go up significantly? Social media applications are designed to be addictive in nature. They thrive on human psychology. You have to become aware of how much time you are spending on social media. If you are spending too much time on social media, then you are losing out on a huge opportunity, because financial education is financial freedom. Those who have real and practical financial education are the ones who will achieve financial freedom in their life quickly. Moreover, social media can also be a drag on your productivity because it has the power to fragment your attention. If your attention remains fragmented throughout the day, you cannot concentrate on a single given task at hand. And if you cannot concentrate on a given task, the quality of the work that you produce will be low. And if the quality of the work that you produce is low, you will not make any kind of financial progress in your life, because the world has become extremely competitive. Deep work is valued in the market, as written by Cal Newport in his book Deep Work. Shallow work can easily be replicated and does not pay much. So become a deep worker, not a shallow worker. Create magnificent things in your life. Don't create superficial things in your life. This is the reason why I say stop using social media, or at least reduce the time that you are spending on social media. Number 5, stop living in your email inbox. If you are checking your email 10 times per day, then you have a serious problem, my dear friend. There is nothing wrong with checking email, but there is something terribly wrong with constantly checking email. You have to understand that when someone sends you an email, they are asking for a piece of your time. And time, my dear, is your most valuable and the most scarce commodity that you have right now, especially productive time. Use your time to produce. Use your time to produce assets. Use your time to enhance your productivity. Use your time to do some deep work. Use your time to create output which is valuable to the marketplace, because it is your work that will earn you respect and money. If you constantly find yourself checking and responding to emails sent to you, then you are wasting your time. Real work does not happen inside an email inbox. Real work happens when you are away from all of your electronic devices. Most people are addicted to their email inboxes because that is how the work culture has developed over a period of time. This is the reason why a lot of people are producing low quality output these days. Read the book A World Without Email, written by author Cal Newport, who is also the author of the book Deep Work. In the book A World Without Email, author Cal Newport talks about how you can live a happy and a productive life without being addicted to your email inbox. We have thousands of years of human history where there was no concept of email, and yet we humans as a species have produced magnificent things by applying our minds. Great inventions would not have happened if these inventors spent their time checking their emails multiple times per day. Number six, stop trading your money. A lot of people get attracted to trading stocks, commodities, and currencies, especially those who are working at 9 to 5 jobs. They use their spare time to trade their money, thinking that one day it is this trading activity that will make them financially free. That is never going to happen. Please understand that financial freedom comes when your total monthly passive income either equals or exceeds your total monthly expense. If you carefully look at that definition, it talks about passive income. It does not talk about active income. And trading, my dear friend, is active income. You have to sit in front of the chart and make decisions based on what you see on the chart and then put your trades. That's active income. You are trading your time for money, even though after you put the trade, you have to wait for the market to go in your direction to make the money. It is not actually passive income. Passive income is when you are making money even while you are sleeping. But for trading, you have to be constantly alert. You have to be alert to changing market conditions and then act accordingly. So it requires the use of your time and your mental energy. This is the reason why I don't categorize trading income as passive income. So trading is something which will not get you to financial freedom. You can choose to do trading to make some extra side income by investing a few hours per day in that activity. But don't expect to become financially free by just becoming a professional trader. Ultimately, whatever money that you make from your trading, you will have to buy assets with that money which can produce cash flow for you in the future, which can take care of your monthly expenses. Number seven, stop investing in cryptocurrencies. Just because other people are investing and making money in cryptocurrencies doesn't mean that you have to invest in cryptocurrencies, right? Also, please understand that, as I said earlier, the richest people in the world do not invest for capital gains. They are investing for cash flow. Now, if you look at cryptocurrencies, you don't earn cash flow from cryptocurrencies. To make money in cryptocurrencies, you will have to buy and sell cryptocurrencies, right? Now, when you buy and sell cryptocurrencies, what you are earning is capital gains, not cash flow. However, as per the definition of financial freedom, you need assets in your life which can produce cash flow for you, not only now, but in perpetuity, so that this cash flow not only takes care of you now, but it also takes care of your next generation and the generation after that, and you control it in perpetuity. However, if you just buy a few bitcoins, they are just going to sit there in your digital wallet and do nothing for you. It may go up and down in value as the price fluctuates. However, it is not going to produce more bitcoins for you, because to have more bitcoins, you will have to keep buying more bitcoins or become a bitcoin miner. Things like bitcoin are just cryptocurrencies. The word itself says that it is a currency, it is not an asset. There is a big difference between a currency and an asset. An asset produces cash flow in the form of currency. A currency in itself cannot create new currency on its own. So please understand that owning cryptocurrencies is not going to make you financially free. What you need to become financially free is you need assets. And there are four broad types of assets: real estate, business, commodities, and paper assets. And the only thing that can be called as an asset is something that produces cash flow for you every single month. Number eight, stop investing in the stock market. Tell me, how many people do you know who have invested in the stock market and have become financially free? Again, I bring you back to the point of investing for cash flow, not for capital gains. Now, the only cash flow that you can earn from stocks is dividends. And go check the dividend yield of stocks in the stock market. Dividend yield basically is the amount of dividend that you earn from a stock on an annual basis. relative to the price at which you bought the stock. So, for example, if you bought a stock for $100 and in 1 year you earned a dividend of $2, then your dividend yield is 2%. So, if you check the dividend yields of stocks, they are very, very low. So, you hardly earn any cash flow from stocks. The only way you can make money in stocks is by capital gains. And as I said earlier, whenever it is about capital gains, it is also about selling your assets and paying capital gains taxes, which is not what the rich people in the world are doing. The richest people in the world are busy creating businesses or creating assets. The richest people in the world are busy creating or buying businesses. A lot of people think that Warren Buffett is a stock market investor. No, he is not investing in stocks. He is investing in businesses. And it is these businesses that are giving him cash flow. So he is investing for cash flow. He is not investing for capital gains. When he is buying a business through a stock, he does not have the intention of selling it, at least in the near future. Number 9, stop investing in an IPO, an initial public offering. I spoke about this in my previous video. The smart people who have smart money use an IPO to exit a company, not to enter a company. Whereas stupid investors who want to make a quick buck, they enter a company through an IPO hoping to make some money on day one of trading. That is not the way to achieve financial freedom. That is not a long-term strategy to achieve financial freedom. Just because a company comes up with an IPO does not mean that it's a candidate for a good investment. You can end up making a bad investment in a good company based on what price you are buying that company for. If the stock of that company is overpriced in the market, no matter how good the company is, your returns are going to be below average because the price at which you bought the stock was not favorable, because you paid a premium to take control of that asset. Moreover, an IPO is risky because a lot of activity that happens in a stock when it gets listed on the stock market is driven by emotions. And when the stock market activity is driven by emotions, anything can happen in a stock in a given particular day. So you are putting your money in uncharted territory. You don't know what is going to happen next. The market will take some time to realize the true value of the company. But when it comes to day one of trading the stock of a company, it is mostly driven by emotions, not by rationality. So stay away from an IPO. Number 10, stop reading fiction books. See, your time is your most valuable commodity. You are already caught up with a lot of work. So whatever little time that you have on your hands, if you use that time to read fiction books, then you are losing out on a big opportunity. The time that you are spending to read fiction books, if you invest the same amount of time to acquire some basic financial education through some high quality books, then don't you think it will help you achieve your goal of financial freedom? It is okay if you are an enthusiast of fiction books. My point here is, at least if you cannot stop reading fiction books, try to reduce the time that you are spending on fiction books by at least 50% and use that extra saved time to read books related to finance so that your financial vocabulary improves. When your financial vocabulary improves, your financial IQ improves. And when your financial IQ improves, that is when your chances of achieving financial freedom goes up dramatically. Again, you have to use your time carefully. You have a goal of achieving financial freedom, so you have to devote your time, money, and energy to achieve that goal. If you keep spending time on email inboxes, social media, fiction books, which do not contribute to you achieving your goal of financial freedom, then you are wasting your time. Number 11, stop listening to fund managers. See, fund managers are in the business of managing funds. They are in the business of managing money. Don't go and ask a barber whether you need a haircut. The answer is always going to be yes, right? Similarly, don't go to a fund manager and ask whether I should invest in funds or not. The answer is always going to be a yes, because fund managers are in the business of managing money. They need your money. If you don't give them any money to manage, they are not going to earn their salary. So, chances are a fund manager is not going to talk negative about the markets, because if he says something negative about the markets, or if he presents a pessimistic view of the market, chances are his clients will withdraw money from his funds, and he doesn't want that. And the reason why he doesn't want that is because his income, his family depends on this job, and his job is to manage money, manage assets. And if people start withdrawing money, it is not good for him. So the point is, the advice that you get from fund managers can be biased to a certain extent. And when it comes to financial decisions or financial advice, we don't want biased financial advice. We want to listen to people who give us independent financial advice. We want to listen to people who are in the business of providing financial education, not financial advice. This is the reason I say stop listening to fund managers, because they have a vested interest in giving you financial advice. If you want to make financial progress in your life, you have to form your own independent opinion. For that, you need real financial education. Number 12, stop watching financial news channels on TV. Financial news channels are in the business of creating content. They are in the business of giving you news. They are not in the business of giving you financial education. What you need is financial education. If you keep bombarding yourself with financial news, you will get confused. What you need is clarity of thought. And clarity of thought only comes when you start taking interest in financial education, when you actually start taking the time to understand some technical financial terms, so that you can make an independent assessment on whether something is worth investing or not. Moreover, media and news channels thrive on advertising revenue. So, a lot of content that we see on news channels can be biased to a certain extent. We have to be aware of that. Truth is something that is not told on a news channel. Truth is something that you learn from your personal experience in life. Constantly spending your time watching financial news channels is not going to make you financially free. If you want to achieve financial freedom in your life, you have to get off the couch, take action, get some real and practical financial education, and get busy creating assets that can give you cash flow in the future every single month. And one of the best assets that you can create in your life right now is a business that you start. It can be a side hustle or it can be a startup. Either ways, if the business begins to grow, eventually it can have the potential to not only take care of you, but your family and your next generation and the generation after that. That's what you need to be focusing on. Number 13, stop taking advice from your friends. See, unless your friend has a very good financial IQ or can give you some unbiased financial advice. But generally, this is not the case. This is the reason why I say stop taking advice from your friends. You need mentors. When it comes to matters of money in your life, you need a mentor who has already achieved what you want to achieve in your life. And you want to go to this mentor and ask, how did you achieve what you have achieved in your life? And what are the exact steps that you took to get there? Pay money if you have to, but find a mentor who can help you make financial progress in your life. If your goal is to achieve financial freedom, go and find someone who has already achieved financial freedom in their life and ask them for their advice. If your friend has not achieved financial freedom in his life, how can you expect him to give you financial advice that can get you to financial freedom? As my mentor says, choose your teachers very carefully. Only take advice from those people who have already done what you want to do in your life. This will save you tons of time and effort. Don't get unnecessarily influenced by what your friends and neighbors are doing in the stock market. Let them live their life the way they want. You choose your mentors and you start to make progress in your life. Your friends and neighbors will follow you then. Number 14, stop following the crowd. Most people in general do not have any financial education, so they rely on other people's opinions to make their investment decisions. This creates something called as crowd psychology. And crowd psychology is what creates the herd mentality. If you follow the herd, you will get the results that the herd is getting. But if you choose to step away from the herd and really invest your time in acquiring some financial education, chances are you will make quick progress in your life. Imagine if you spend 30 minutes per day on your own financial education, then 30 minutes per day is almost equal to 10 hours a month, assuming a 20-day month if I ignore the weekends. Okay. So 10 hours a month is equal to 120 hours a year. Now you tell me one thing. If you spend 120 hours on a particular subject, don't you think that you will become an expert on that subject, at least way ahead of your peers? You will go way ahead of the crowd in terms of your financial IQ. And when your financial IQ improves, you don't need to follow the herd mentality. You can take your own independent financial decisions. You don't have to rely on other people to tell you what you should do with your money. And 30 minutes per day, in my view, is an easily achievable target. You can spend 15 minutes in the morning reading something about the world of money and business. And just before going to bed, you can spend another 15 minutes reading about the world of money. After 1 year, you will find that your financial IQ has improved a lot and you have automatically started taking better financial decisions. You have automatically started making better decisions with your money. Number 15, stop giving your money to others to manage. Ultimately, what I would like to say is that you have to take responsibility of your own life. You have to take responsibility of your financial life. If you invest your time acquiring some financial education, there is absolutely no need for you to give your money to someone else to manage. Nobody can manage your money better than you can, because you are the one who has worked very hard to earn this money, and you are the best person to know where your money can be put to good use if you have the right kind of financial education. Giving your money to someone else to manage is irresponsible. Please understand that matters of money are very personal. If you are sick, go to a doctor. If you need to resolve a case, go to a lawyer. If you need a bookkeeper, then go and find a chartered accountant. But when it comes to managing your own money, this is something which is a totally different subject. You cannot outsource this thing. You need to be active here, at least at an intellectual level, if not at the executional level. Let someone else manage the operations part. You remain involved in the decision making. Money is something which is difficult to make, but it is something that is very easy to lose. And a little bit of financial education can get you way ahead of the pack. So take the time to read high quality personal finance books like Rich Dad Poor Dad, Cash Flow Quadrant, or The Guide to Investing, all written by Robert Kiyosaki. You can see some of the books here. You will see that your financial IQ is improving and you will automatically start taking better decisions with your money. So those were the 15 things which I thought I must share with you, which you must absolutely stop doing if you want to be financially free. So my question to you is this: which one of these things are you doing in your life right now? And what are you going to do about it now that you have identified this? Let me repeat that question. Which one of these things are you doing in your life right now? And what are you going to do about it now that you have identified it? If you are truly serious about achieving financial freedom in your life, you will find out the answer to that question and do the right thing for yourself. I have confidence in you. Talking about financial freedom, again, I want to invite you to come and attend my free Financial Freedom Masterclass, in which I teach people how to escape the 9 to 5 rat race in less than 5 years. This masterclass is 100% online. It is free. When you sign up, you get your login details and you have lifetime access to it. So go ahead and claim your lifetime access to this masterclass. I will put the link in the description box below. This masterclass will get you started on your journey towards your financial independence. Alright, guys, that's it for this episode. I have given you enough food for thought. I hope you got value out of this. This is your host Rohit signing off for now. I will see you same time, same place next week. Bye for now. Take care.